I love it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
normally take her for a walk at 5 o'clock, but I
Yeah.
knew we started at 5. She would sit here and bark and drive me crazy. So I'm like, there's no way I ain't gonna do that. Let me just make sure we're on all the pages. Waiting for stream. Oh, look at that. That's awesome. I see us on one page. So this is when people start talking funny about us. Let them
Oh
talk.
god.
I don't care. They can make fun of me all they want. I want to see if Sparrow's going to join us.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool. You should be awake. So, you ready to get this party started?
I'm ready to get the party started.
And we are back. Here I am, Fly Navarro with the No BS World Tour. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, coming at you live. Here we are on Facebook and on YouTube live, talking about all things fishing, all things outdoors, everything that is good, positive, and fun. If you're coming here to talk to me about negative stuff, this is not the place to be. This broadcast is brought to you by, that's right, my first publication, Best Catch 2020. Get your copy today at www.bestcatch2020.com, the top 60 tournaments of the Americas. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to need you to share this live broadcast far and wide, because right here on the East Coast of Florida, it is 5 p.m. It's 5:15. But where we're broadcasting from, Miss Lily is down in the land down under. It is 8 a.m. Thursday morning. Miss Lily Sims, good morning. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
You know what? I couldn't be any better. I could be a little bit taller, maybe, but not any better.
It's alright. You'll get there one day.
Man, I'll tell you what. I'm a little bit older than you. I think I'm already on my way back down.
Oh.
I'm on my way back down. So, Lily, thank you so much for joining us today. We got people joining in. I see Tara Thompson's in here from Hawaii. I see Curtis is in here. Kevin. I see Jorge, Eric Carlson. I see Shannon Hansen all the way from the Washington Tuna Classic. And I see Barefoot Sierra all the way from Sierra Leone. Good to see everybody. We've got lots of fishing to talk about. Miss Lily Sims here is the pending record holder for about 127 new records, not only in Australia, but in the world. Actually, I don't know if it's the full 127. So, Miss Lily, why don't you tell everybody exactly how many records did you set over the last couple of months?
So we've had a crazy last couple of months, and about now, so we have 3 that have gone through definitely. So we caught the 4 kilo Australia junior female, the 2 kilo, and the 3 kilo. So we worked our way down. It was really cool, and we also have the pending 1 kilo world record for black marlin.
1 kilo world record black marlin. So, for those of you that are listening and have never tried the ultralight stuff, first of all, I would need the old man glasses to tie 1 kilo, which is 2 pound test. And literally, it's like sewing thread.
Yeah, it really is. So if you like to put it in perspective, if you take a strand of your hair, it's
Uh-huh.
almost the same.
Now, is that a hair off my head or one off my goatee?
Uh, any.
I think this stuff here is thicker than the one on my head. So let's talk about this 1 kilo or 2 pound test record. First of
Yeah.
all, before we even get to that part, why don't you let everybody know how old you are, because you still fall under junior angler.
Yeah, I do. So I'm about to turn 16 at the start of next year. So right now I'm 15 years old. Yeah.
Yes. Now, is 15 regular 15, or is it different in Australia? I don't know. I have to
It's
ask.
just regular 15.
It's just regular 15. Listen, I don't
Yeah.
know. I have my friend from Canada here. Every time he tells me he sold fish, I got to ask him, are those US dollars or Canadian dollars? Those are things I have to
Yeah.
ask.
Yeah.
So you're 15 years old. And
Yeah.
how did you get started into, I can't even call it heavy tackle. How did you get into marlin fishing?
So my dad's always has game boats. He used to go down and watch all the big marlin come in after the season when they'd be weighing them in. And he always told his mom, he was always like, one day I'm going to have a boat just like that. Like, I'm going to raise my kids and they're going to go fishing. And
Yes.
I guess really like the record passion like really started. Last year we went to Kona in Hawaii. So we went
Nice.
there to go blue marlin fishing with Jace and Nick who makes like the tantrum lures off the Pursuit.
Okay.
And as soon as we got on the boat, Nick goes, "Oh, Lily, how old are you?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm 14." He's like, "Cool, let's go break the blue marlin world record." I was like, "Okay." So it kind of really started there, but before then I caught like 2-3 marlin and just stand up on 10 kilo. And it kind of just blew up from there. We had one, we called it 550 on the gaffs, and it did a massive jump at the back of the boat. And I almost cried. I thought it was the biggest thing I had ever seen in my whole life.
Wow.
Yeah, unfortunately we lost it, but it was a great experience.
That's the greatest thing about fishing. It's no 2 days are ever the same.
Never.
I just to let you know, you have one of your fellow countrymen. He's joined us live, or he was live on here. Tim Richardson of the Tradition,
Nice.
the mackerel. So Tim, are you still watching? I want to know, is 15 in Australia the same as 15 in the United States? Let's see if you come up with the same answer. These are just things I got to make sure we're on. These are base questions. That
Fair
way,
enough.
if you're telling a lie, I'll know. I'll know.
Yeah.
So anyway, so how long have you told me how you got into it, but how long have you been fishing? You said you went to Kona when you were 14. So that was the first
Yeah.
time you went marlin fishing.
Yeah, that was like my first time like heavy tackle fishing.
Okay.
I caught my first marlin in 2014, and then later I caught one again in 2018. But I didn't really remember them until like I was in the chair in Hawaii. That's an experience I'm just never gonna forget, and we can't wait to go back.
Really? I
Yeah.
love Hawaii. I used to run a boat out in Hawaii back in 2013 and
Really?
14. Yeah. I loved Hawaii. I really enjoyed it out there. The people were super nice, and I loved the weather. Flat, calm every day. Kind of nice, ain't it?
Yeah.
That flat, calm, you can get used. I know I can get used to it.
Yeah. It'll be like
So,
5 knots, and they're like, "This is our rough day," and you're like, "Really?"
yeah, exactly. Exactly. And now, for anybody that's fished the Great Barrier Reef, and we have some people on here that have, weather is something that you have to deal with every day.
Yeah.
And especially when you're ultralight tackle fishing, because
Yeah.
1 kilo, 2 kilo, 4 kilo, this is not just light tackle, this is ultralight.
Yeah.
So what made you decide to go after this ultralight records?
So after we got back from Hawaii, it was kind of like, wow, like what other records could we do? Because not like it was easy, but like we had the opportunity to get one. And we were like, what can we do out of Cairns? So we bought all the IGFA record books, we got the GFAA journal, and we just started going through the whole thing. Like, I can't do math at school, but I swear I know those whole record books off the back of my hand. It's so bad.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and so we basically just started looking at it and we were like, wow, like, not that we can do these, but like, we can have a good crack. So we decided to just start buying all these lines, getting them tested, and we just went out one day and we just went for it. And I remember when we got the 4 kilo record on the boats, that was my first like record that we had to put in. So that was the first one we tried to do. So we worked our way down from 4. And as soon as we got that in the boat, like just the adrenaline, everyone was just like, oh my God, this is so cool. And it was just like an Australia record. And we decided that then we would start working our way down. And everyone was just like, I was feeling like I was getting so much better in myself. Like I was getting more of a feel for like the line and everything. And so I was more confident to work my way down because we also fished 6. So we let the 6 kilo Australia record go countless amounts of times. We didn't end up killing one on 6. We let all of them go because we just weren't happy with them.
Okay.
Yeah. So then we worked 4, and on the same day we caught the 2 and 3 kilo. So
Really?
yeah.
So before we continue down the ladder, let's start with the 4 kilo. How big was that fish?
So on 4, that was my first marlin on 4 as well. So that was 15.5 kilos on 4.
So give or take, it was something about 35 pounds to the Americans that are listening.
Yeah.
So describe to us the bite. What happened? What'd you see? How did you go about it?
So this light tackle season out of Cairns, it was the best light tackle season like I've seen. And it was just crazy. So you'd have the teasers. So we had the bridge teasers in the water, and they'd just be like going along the surface. And not even before you had like the livey hooked up onto the line, like we had our skipper, Dean Ford. We had him yelling. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, marlin on the teaser, marlin on the teaser." And he'd just start winding it up as well, like trying to get the live yakka going and like get him in the water. He's like, "Oh, I don't got much further I can go." Yeah.
That is awesome.
It was on fire. So as soon as the livey would hit the water, the marlin would just be all over it. Like you'd smack the water and it'd just be like, "Whoa!"
That's all, and it was happening right there behind the boat.
Yeah, you saw it, the whole thing. It was so cool.
So with that ultralight tackle, IGFA record or regulations stipulate that the leader cannot be more than 15 foot for those of the people that are listening. So after you put that live bait in the water, and so that's 15 feet, how much more line was in the water before that marlin ate? I want to know, and I want everybody else to know.
It would hit the water and it would go back. So the swivel was out the rod tip.
Okay.
And they'd take it and then they would just go down deep. They'd just go away.
It was just
like no drag as well.
Instantaneous. He would eat it right there.
Yeah.
Within 15, 20 feet of the boat.
Yeah.
How awesome. And now he went down.
So
do you get any jumps out of them? Tell us about the fight.
Yeah, you do. So with the more lighter tackle, it's kind of more harder to set the hook. So most of the time, if you don't get them in the right spot, you do normally set the hook proper on the leader. So the leader jumps are like normally the best, but they do also get scared of the boat. So they do like the big like hound dog jumps of like these little marlins just hounding away from you.
That's so cool. Now, what size leader were you using with the 4 kilo main line?
So with the light tackle, so everything under 10 kilo, I might be wrong on this, so don't quote me.
No.
But everything under 10 kilo has to be 15 foot. So we were running like 14.5 foot leaders.
What pound test was it? Was it wire? Was it?
It was
monofilament.
Mono. Okay. It was mono.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 80. I think when we first started, we didn't really realize like how to do it. So we'd get like the 4 kilo one on, and then grab the leader, and they'd be too scared, so they'd let it go. I fought a fish on 2 for 7.5 hours. Yeah.
7.5 hours.
And then the next day I fought one on 3 for 4.5 hours.
Oh my gosh. Now,
and we lost both of them.
You lost both. So here's the thing that I was very impressed when I first heard about you going after the records, because first of all, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. Going after any records is not easy. But one of the things that people don't understand about ultralight records, you go through a lot of fish. You go through a lot of tackle. You go through a lot of bites. Sometimes you can go through 20 bites before you even hook one because you keep breaking the line. And a lot of people don't have the patience. And a lot of people who are 15 years old don't have the patience. So the fact that you have the patience to go through this and fight these fish, that sounded like a Snapchat.
Yeah, it was. I just silenced my phone. Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I just listen. It's like name that tune. I hear the little click and I'm like, oh, that's a Snapchat.
That's like 10 points for fly.
Yeah. That's the way I roll. Everything with me is a competition. Everything is a competition. So you caught the 4 kilogram fish record. And then right after that same day, you caught the 2 kilo fish as well, correct?
No, so we were going out every weekend.
Okay.
So it was kind of like whenever I got a break from school, I was taking Friday, Saturday, Sundays off, and we were just going. Like, Dad was like, you know what? Education can wait.
Listen, you're learning a lot. You're on the largest living reef in the world.
Yeah,
you're fishing off the Great Barrier Reef.
World out there.
Exactly. And we haven't even gotten into that part. And that is something that I really want that for the people who've never been there. It's an experience of their own. But so tell me, now you've caught the 4 pound. It was pending. Then you went after the 2 pound or the 2 kilo. My apologies.
So after that, we worked our way down, and the weekend after we caught the 4 kilo, that's when I had the long fights with the 2 and 3 because we were trying and failing. And I feel like it just kind of like drove me to like go harder. Like I was like, well, we've put in so much effort. Like I'm not letting this opportunity like get away. And so we went out the next weekend, and then we caught 2 of the records in the same day, and that was just, we partied.
So I believe you had Spare on the boat then.
No, so we had Sparrow on the boat for the 1 kilo, so that was the next weekend.
Well, I don't want to rush that yet because I got a couple Sparrow stories that I can share with you.
I got a couple Sparrow stories I can share.
Yeah. Well, when he called me up after you guys caught the record, I was with Sparrow for 6 weeks, and I don't think I saw Sparrow drink a beer. And he exactly. And after you guys broke the record or caught the record, I got several calls. That's when he says, "Hey man, you really need to get Lily on your podcast so she can tell everybody her story. She's an unbelievable angler." And then he called me a couple days later. He's like, "Did I call you? I don't remember."
Oh, we went down there the next morning.
So that 2 pound now did you also tease that one in and pitch it a livey?
Yeah, we did. So that one, it was kind of like we knew we were fishing 1 kilo that day, and we knew the record was 11 kilos, and we were like, right. So not to set the bar high, but we have not caught a marlin under 11 kilos this light tackle season. We were like, we're out here to do it. We're out here to swing some metal. Like, let's go.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah. So the morning we went out there, everyone was there. So we needed like lots of people to be there because it was an IGFA record, and we've never gone for one of them before. So we were all so excited. We were all buzzing. Like we were like, do you know what? Even if we don't catch a fish today, we're gonna have a good day. Like today is just a good day.
That's the best way to look at it.
Yeah, and we were so lucky to have Sparrow there with us. Yeah, and we went out there and we put the teasers in, and then we had our skipper Dean yell. He's like, "Yeah, there's one in the teaser. Pitch the one." So we pitched the one. He explodes on it, and he just goes. And I was like, "We're gonna be here for a while."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So how long did you fight that fish for?
So I fought the 1-on-1 for 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who was the first person to put a gaff in it?
It was Sparrow, but it fell out. So my dad's mate, who's been there with us through everything, he had a swing at it as well. And they were kind of like, "Yep, it's 1 kilo. It's a world record. Whack it." So Sparrow goes in, the gaff comes out, and then my dad's mate, Jar, he swings at it and it goes back in, and Sparrow gets it back in. And just the energy, as soon as this marlin comes over the side of the boat, we had our skipper Dean. He was already downstairs. He's like, "Everyone step away from the transom door." And like there's photos from in the moment, and it was just like, wow, like we just caught a IGFA record. Like it was crazy.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. So after everything is said and done right now, how many records have you applied for How many have you caught and you've applied for so far?
So right now we've applied for. So the 1 kilo, that's also not just a junior; it's a female as well. So
Oh, is it
yeah,
really?
yeah.
Okay.
So right now we have the 4, 3, 2, 1, and I guess the 1 counts twice because it goes for like Australia twice. And we also caught a Wahoo. So
Oh, wait a second.
6.
You did catch. I remember seeing a picture of a Wahoo. Tell me about that bite.
So it was kind of just like we were heavy tackle fishing because we're trying to go for the IGFA black marlin, which is what we've been going for 2 years now.
Uh-huh.
And so we were just fishing for that. Like we had 24 kilo and 37. And we were just like waiting for the bite of the marlin. And then the 24 kilo comes out the rigger, and I'm like, Dino didn't see it, and he turns around. And I was like, yeah, Dino, I got him on. And so I take the rod to the chair and I clip myself in, and we start winding. And then they were like, oh yeah, Wahoo, let's kill it. I was like, no. Wait. If it goes line class, it's a record. Like, guys, stop. Just, you gotta chill. And I was like, you can't, like, don't touch the line. Just grab the leader. Because they were going to start, like, grabbing the line. I was like, no.
That's first of all, the fact that you were aware of that.
Yeah.
And you said, hey, hold on a second. This could be a record. And now, what was the junior angler record for Wahoo?
There was none.
Oh, it was vacant.
It was open. Yeah.
Oh, so you knew you had it.
And we were going to wait the next morning, but we were like, because we got in late, and we were like, oh, should we not? And I was like, no, let's just go now, because if it's going to go over now, it might not go over tomorrow, because it had to go over 24 kilos.
Okay.
And it ended up going 25.5.
Yeah.
So just.
Listen, it doesn't matter. You made it. You made it. So just a real quick recap for everybody that's joining us late. I'm here with Miss Lily Sims from Australia, black marlin extraordinaire angler, record holder of possibly six records. What is it now?
Yeah, 6 Australia ones.
6 Australian and 1 IGFA?
Yeah.
That is so cool. Okay, so this is when you're going to get my Sparrow story. So,
okay.
First of all, does he still eat gummies all day long?
All day long.
That's him. And I sat in that tower, ate gummy bears, gummy frogs, gummy trees, gummy everything. So it was like, I don't know, 3-4 weeks. We'd been on the reef, and I keep teasing. I'm like, hey man, you need a haircut. Yeah. Oh no. When we get back in, I'm like, come on, man. It's not like you got a lot of hair. I can cut your hair. And I finally convinced him to cut my hair or to cut his hair. So he pulls out the trimmers and he gives me the guard, like a number 2 guard. And I'm like, really? You need a guard? Why don't you just take it all off? No, man, take it. I'm like, okay. So I get 1 cut in, 2 cuts in, and his hair's so thin and fine, I got to clean it. So I start kind of hitting it with my hand, and poof, I knock off the guard. No guard. So I've got half his head shaved and the other half is not, and now I have no guard. And I'm looking at him. I'm like, man, I swear I didn't do that on purpose. And of all the places to anchor up behind the reef, most of the time it's 15 foot, 20 foot. Wherever we were that night, it's like 80 foot. So I couldn't go down and get it. No. So he's like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, what do you mean what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut your hair with no guard. I shaved him bald. And Bo Jennings' father pulls up. And I forget what Bo's father's name is. But he pulls up. He comes, and he particularly came up to say hello to me. But he saw that I was giving Spare a haircut. And we told him the story. By this time, Spare is cursing up a storm. And anyway, long story short, that haircut lasted him the rest of the season. He was not happy with me. So every time I talk to him, I'm like, hey man, you ready for another haircut? Get away from me. So now I'll let you tell a Sparrow story, which I'm hoping he'll listen to at some point.
So when we were catching the fish on one, so Sparrow's known me since I was a baby. He's known me since I was tiny. So he came with us to catch the fish on one. And while we were doing that, he stood next to me the whole time just cracking jokes. He's like, you know what? This fish has an expiry date, and that's today. He turns around and he's like, what's the date? The 20th? Yep, that's the expiry date on this fish. I was like,
He's so awesome.
yeah.
He is so
I was like,
awesome.
oh, how big do you reckon it is? He's like, I don't know, but it's not getting any bigger. I was like, okay.
That's true. That's true. I remember when I was fishing with him, I was up on the bridge taking photos, and we were talking about it. It's like, hey, if you're gonna take one over the mark, you mind if I throw the steel? And he's like, listen, if you're not throwing it, I'm gonna step on you on my way down the ladder. And I'm like, okay, that's fair. And we had the fish. We didn't have the leader yet, but it was, I don't know, maybe 15 feet from the leader, and the fish jumps. And I'll never forget, he just very quietly yelled out, get him down, boys. And we knew that was it. And I threw my camera. I didn't even know where I was throwing it. We ended up fighting the fish for like 3.5 hours. And we did lose it, but it was pretty amazing to see a size of a fish like that. And having the opportunity to be fishing on the Great Barrier Reef for these giant black marlin.
Yeah.
So for the people who have never been to Australia and have never seen the Great Barrier Reef, and I'm watching people, we have people from all over the world watching, describe a little bit so people understand what it's like to fish off the reef.
So with heavy tackle, you fish right next to the reef. So if you're ever going to come to Australia, come to Cairns and go heavy tackle fishing. I honestly can't think of anything better than doing it. I've spent so much time out on the water this year because of Corona and like COVID. And it's just crazy, unbelievable. Like you're fishing just here, and less than 100 meters away, you can see the waves breaking on the reefs. And like when you're wearing your sunglasses, you can see the reefs as well. It's crazy. You go fishing, you can go snorkeling in the morning, and then in the afternoon go catch a giant. Like it's unbelievable.
It's now. So tell us what your I know our normal days consisted of swimming and spearing in the morning, and then fishing in the afternoon. So how was your guys' days set up mostly?
It kind of depends who you have on the boat. So if you have a charter who wants to go like snorkeling, spearing, you'll go like snorkeling, spearing in the mornings, and then you'll do bait fishing for like an hour. Because with the black marlins, the big ones, it's usually like the late afternoon bite. Yeah, so you go bait fishing and then marlin fishing in the afternoon.
There you go. So what was the biggest coral trout you speared?
I haven't speared a coral trout. I'm not allowed to get in the water because of my mom.
Whoa, you're not allowed to go in the water?
No, I can go swimming, but I'm not allowed to go spearing because she said it's dangerous.
No comment, because she's probably watching right now.
Yeah, she probably is, so there's no comment.
No worries, Mom. I'm not saying anything. I swear, I'm not going to say anything.
The sharks have been really bad here lately. And it's just getting progressively worse, so I guess she's just like, no. It's like, okay.
No, I get it. You know, we got a real bad shark problem here. I just posted a picture up on Instagram a couple days ago. There was a sailfish on the leader, and there was 5 bull sharks on it.
Oh.
It just couldn't go nowhere. And people were commenting, why didn't you cut the leader? And it's like, it doesn't matter. They were on it.
Yeah.
They were on it. So, what's next on your agenda? Are you done marlin fishing for the year, or?
No way.
No way. I love it. What's next on
the black marlin season, that's just about to finish. Like there might be like 1 week left in it, and then we're going to start going out wide to go fishing for blue marlin, and then at the start of next year we're going to go harass the sailfish.
Are you going to do that? Are you going to do that right there in Australia?
Yes, just off here we get sailfish like crazy. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's why I'm still a junior. And then when I take over into senior and the Marlin season comes around again, we're gonna start fly fishing, and I'm gonna learn how to fly fish.
Holy smokes.
Yeah,
You are very patient.
I love it.
Have you now? Spare is a great teacher, but
Yeah.
have you spoken with anybody about doing any fly fishing for Marlin?
Yeah, I have. I've just written to Dean Butler and our skipper Dean Ford. He's into it as well.
Are you familiar with Nick Smith?
No, I'm not.
Nick Smith, he grew up in my same town right here in Palm Beach,
Yeah.
Florida. He used to own the car dealership here, and he
Yeah.
was world renowned for our Silver Sailfish Derby, which is a wintertime tournament for our local fishing club. And he
Yeah.
would always win it. He won it like 7 years in a row, and he would fish by himself.
Oh my gosh.
He'd fly two kites and he'd fish by himself and he'd beat everybody.
That's
Well,
crazy.
I would say probably about 20 years ago, he really got into the fly fishing. And I had the absolute pleasure. I always knew Nick,
Yeah.
but I had the most absolute pleasure to get a chance to fly fish with him in St. Thomas. They needed an extra teaser guy. And
Yeah.
I was the cockpit teaser guy. And amazing angler. And now he keeps
Yeah.
his boat in the Pacific and he bounces between Guatemala for the sailfish and then Mag Bay for the striped marlin.
Yeah. That's
And
cool.
I mean, his normal years, he'll catch 200 to 300 striped marlin in a year.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So he loves it.
Yeah.
Absolutely loves it. So if you would like, I would be more than happy to introduce you to him.
Yes,
I
please.
I think he would be just a whole wealth of information for you when it
Yeah.
comes to it. And he's such a nice guy. He's one of those guys I haven't talked to him in a while, so it gives me an excuse to call him.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. So you want to go you're going to go fly fishing for sailfish and marlin.
Yeah.
Uh, what's your ultimate goal with all these records?
I just want to be known as not my dad's kid. Like, I don't want to be known as like, I don't want to be known as like, oh, there's Greg's kid, Lily. I want to be known as like, oh, there's Lily Sims. What's her dad's name? That's the ultimate goal.
So I have the funniest story. So well before your time, the
Yeah.
president of the IGFA was Mike Leach. I don't know if you know who Mike Leach is
No, I
or
don't.
ever heard of him, but Mike Leach was at the IGFA for 27 years.
Yeah.
And his son worked with me on the reel type for 9 years. We fished together. So I got a chance
Yeah.
to be around Mike quite often and Mike's wife, Gussie. And Gussie was always known as Mike's wife or Eric's mom. And she goes, I just want to be known for me. So from that moment forward, every time I saw Mike, I would just say, hey, aren't you Gussie's husband?
Yeah. That's funny.
So that's, you know what? Everybody who's listening from this moment forward, it's Lily Sims. She's not her father's daughter. So if you see her walking around town, make sure you call her by name because she's going to be well known in this fishing industry.
I really hope so. I just want to make a name for myself. Like, I can't think of going back and sitting in an office and working somewhere here. I just want to work on the ocean. Like, yeah,
What is
that's all I want to do.
okay, so you're 15 years old, so you're at that age where you're going to school, you're studying. What are the things that
Yeah.
you want to do when you grow up? I mean, do you have an idea what you want to do for a living when you grow up?
I just really want to work in the marlin industry and on a boat. I've just gotten into TAFE to get my coxswain's ticket next year.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So
Explain
that's
to
where
everybody
I'm at.
what that is so they understand for the people not from Australia.
It's where you can drive boats professionally, so you can drive them on charter and stuff. So just to drive a boat in general, you just need a boat license. But if you're going to go on charter, you need coxswains, and then you start going for your tickets and stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome. So you want to be your own Marlin captain one day?
Hopefully.
Listen, wait a second. Hold on. This is where I'm going to draw the line.
Okay.
There is no try. You either do it or you don't. Are you going? Is that what you want to do? You want to be a Marlin captain?
Yeah, I do.
There you go. That's what I want to hear. You just say you're going to do it, and you just keep going at it until you got it. And I don't, Tarzan, if you're still on here, shoot me a comment. I saw you were on here. Tarzan, he's a young man. He's 11 years old. Great.
I follow him on Instagram.
Do you follow him on Instagram?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. And it's so funny because I called him up today just to tell him that I was interviewing you and that he should listen. And Tarzan caught his first 2 sailfish 2 weeks ago.
That's awesome. I saw that.
Did you see the video where I threw him in?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, he didn't realize the boat was going to drift away that fast. Now, did you get thrown in when you caught your first marlin?
No, I did not.
What? What? Greg?
I just ran away from it.
You ran away?
Yeah, I think I did.
No. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. You gotta get thrown in. Greg, what are you doing? What's your mom's name?
Michelle.
Greg and Michelle, what kind of daughter are you raising here? You got to throw her in the water. I was 23 years. I actually caught a marlin as a captain before I caught one as an angler. I was 23 years old in Venezuela. My captain was downstairs doing something. And so I'm running the boat, and blue marlin comes up on the teaser, and we teased it in, and we hooked him up, and he comes up on the bridge, and I'm like, here. And he's like, no, you found him. You catch him. So here I am roaring all over the ocean, and I'm all excited at 23 years old. And we finally catch the fish, get a tag in them. And we start, we're down sea getting ready to start trolling again. He goes, whoa, wait a second. Is that your first one as a captain? I go, yes, sir. He goes, you got to go for a swim. And I'm like, I'm not going to go for a swim in the marina. That's disgusting. That marina is like brown. He goes, you either jump in at the marina or you jump in out here. And I didn't even say yes or no. I jumped straight from the bridge right into the water.
Nice.
And it's all nice until, let me tell you something. And if you ever get a chance, call me back and let me know. You never know how big a 10-foot wave is until you're in the water. Is that yours?
No, it's not. It's the work phone. Oh, there you go.
Okay. You never know how big a 10-foot wave is until you're this far in the water and you're looking at your boat 10 feet up in the air. That's a long ways away. That's a big wave. That's a big wave. But I jumped in. I did it. I wasn't going to jump in at the marina. That wasn't me. And then I caught my first marlin as an angler, I want to say 5 years later. I had never caught a marlin. Yeah. I don't reel in too many fish. I rather see other people catch fish. That's what I like to do.
I like that as well.
So where else, and listen, you're at the beginning of your fishing career. So where else do you plan on fishing? What other places? Do you have any goals that you want to accomplish on places you want to go?
I really want to go fish in Costa Rica. Okay. My family, they fished the World Championships in 2016, I think it was.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't get an invite though. I had to stay home with Grandma.
What? They left you?
Yeah, they did.
Costa Rica's fun. Costa Rica, flat, calm, and lots of bites.
Yeah.
Flat, calm, and lots of bites. You can't go wrong with that. So Costa Rica's on your list. Do you have any kind of exotic species you want to catch? And it doesn't have to be just for saltwater.
Yeah, I really want to catch a peacock bass.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. They just look cool.
We get them here in Florida.
Yeah, my dad caught one while he was over there.
Really? I've caught them here in Florida. I've caught them in Panama. We were in the Panama Canal and catching them there. And
Nice.
the guy, we each chartered a canoe. We had a captain on a canoe, and we all bought, I don't know, like 200 little minnows, and we caught like 200 little peacocks a piece, and he kept all of them. he kept them all to feed his family. It's like, okay, if you're gonna eat them,
That's
go
a
for
lot.
it. Yeah, listen, I guess he has a big family.
Fair enough.
I guess. So here's a question. I have not had a chance to catch one yet. Have you caught a barramundi yet?
Yeah, I have.
Really?
Yeah, I've only caught like one or two though.
All right. Tell me about how big was it, big or was it little or?
Not really, like just under 60 centimeters.
Oh, ooh, just a baby.
Yeah.
I have a friend of mine from Austin. Do you know John Brooks? His name is
Yeah.
Brooksy on YouTube.
Yeah.
So he's a good friend of mine, and he fished my tournament in Saudi Arabia a couple of years ago. And
Really?
and I invited him to come fish my tournament in Saudi Arabia. And then this year we went to Osaka, the Osaka Fish Convention.
Yeah.
And him and I, one day we got before the convention started, we went sturgeon fishing in a little pond underneath an arcade. We had a ball. So he told me next time I go to Australia, he's going to take me barramundi fishing.
I bought one of his little like Nashi peanut lures.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, it's funny because he's building all kinds of lures now. And I believe does he still have the little barramundi pet?
I think it died. I think he got another one.
Okay. All right. And it's funny because I got a chance to meet his missus. She came up to Osaka halfway through the convention. I got a chance to meet her, so it was pretty cool. So, and then he just caught a little
black marlin on the beach.
Yeah, he sent me a text message. I woke up and I had a text message from Brooksy. I'm like, I wonder if everything's okay. And it was a little black marlin. I was like, yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So yeah, I was supposed to be down in Australia this year. But as we know, COVID shut us down. I don't even want to mention it. I'm not even going to give COVID the time of day.
No. Don't even waste your breath.
No. I'm going to hold it.
Yeah.
So right now we postponed it to next year. So I'm supposed to be on the reef. I'm scheduled for 5 days there, but if I'm going to go down there, I'm not going to go down for 5 days. I'm going to go, I'll do what I need to do for the 5 days. We're doing a Marlin University there. And then I'll probably go fishing with Spare for the rest of the time.
Yeah, do that.
And cause him headaches and make him cook me some lamb. That guy can cook some lamb.
Yeah.
I hadn't eaten lamb in forever, and he's like, first night on the boat, oh, we're making lamb, and I'm like, and I had it. It was delicious. The only thing he cooked better was a burger, and he called it a proper burger.
Oh yeah, he makes a mean burger.
Oh my gosh, it has everything on it. Bacon, onions, mushrooms, a fried egg, the whole 9 yards. Oh, I loved it. I loved it. So is there anything else that you want to mention to everybody besides the fact that you want to be known as Lily Sims? Is there anything else? Listen, and I'm a firm believer, once you state it, it's going to happen. So you want to be known as Lily Sims. You want to catch some world records so on fly. And now that you've put it on the air for everybody to listen,
the expectations are high.
Listen, the pressure is going to be mounting. Which is your first blue marlin record you're going to go after?
We're going to go after the 10 kilo Australia.
What is it right now?
There's nothing.
Man, I love vacant records.
Yeah.
Vacant records are the best.
Yeah.
Who do you normally fish with when you go out fishing?
So we have a team.
You have a team. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe I saw you fishing with Rossi.
Yeah, so we used to fish with Rossi. He used to be the skipper of our boat, but he left and he's gone over to his new boat. Yeah.
So you don't fish with him on his new boat?
Not anymore.
Okay, so you fish on your boat.
Yes.
Okay, tell everybody what kind of boat you have and what's the name of it.
So we have a 43-foot O'Brien, and it's called the Bounty Hunter.
Oh,
yeah.
I know the Bounty Hunter. I know the
Yeah.
Bounty Hunter. Great boat.
I
Now,
love it.
who's skippering for you now?
Dean Ford. So he used to work on the Calypso.
Yep, I know Dean.
Yeah, he's the best.
Dean is awesome. He used to fish with Timmy Dean.
Yeah.
And I think I might have seen Timmy Dean on here earlier. I'm not sure if I saw him or not. I think I might have seen his picture pop in. So, all right. So we have 10 pound or 10 kilo blue marlin record next. I want to know when you catch it.
Okay.
And what else? Lily, everybody. Oh, here's a question. Here's something I want to throw on there. If anybody wants to follow you, how's the best way to follow you on social media so they can see what you're doing?
Just on Instagram.
Okay. Well,
I'm just most active on Instagram.
We'll tell everybody how to find you.
Sims.lily.
Sims.lily. That's perfect.
And you'll find the boat through there as well. I tag them and everything.
We can find the boat on there as well.
Yeah.
That's perfect. That is perfect. And when are you fishing next?
On the weekend, I'm fishing a competition I've fished since I was 7.
Which really wasn't that long ago.
No.
So what kind of competition is it?
So it's the ladies only competition. So it's just girls. Just go out and have a good time.
And what are you fishing for?
It's just light tackle, so just anything, really.
Anything?
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
On 10 kilo. I think it's 10, 15, and 24, but we just fish 10.
Listen, you can catch just about anything on 10.
Yeah.
10 kilo is perfect. I remember when I was younger, when I lived in Venezuela, we fished everything on 10 kilo was 20 pound. Everything was 20 pound. All our marlin, white marlin, blue marlin, everything was. We'd kept a big pitch ready just in case, but a 20 kilo, but very rarely did we use it.
Yeah.
So anyway, Lily, on that note, we're going to wrap up here, but don't hang up. You hold right there. We're going to say goodbye to everybody. Everybody, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you so much for joining us here on the No BS World Tour. And I want to thank Lily for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
No, it's 100% my pleasure. These airwaves are yours. Anytime you got a good story you want to share with everybody, just shoot me a text or an Instagram message, and we'll get you on here, and you can tell the story about when you break the 10 kilo record. Oh man, it jumped all over the place. It was the most awesome thing in the world. And you can get on here when you get your skipper's license.
Yep.
Listen, you said it here first.
Yeah.
You said it here, and then when you catch your first record as a skipper, you know you got to jump in the water.
Yeah.
I'll
tell you if I jump in the water or not.
Listen, if not, I'll push you in when I get down there.
Okay.
So, all righty, ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you so much. This is going to be here. It's going to stay on Facebook and YouTube, but we'll have it up on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play, iTunes, Alexa Play, you name it, it's on there. You'll get tired of listening to my voice. Also, Best Catch 2020, you want a copy of it? I fly out Monday to go over and sign all the orders between when we started till Monday. So, and they all go out in the mail. So thank you everybody who has already purchased a copy. Thank you everybody that's joined us here, and check us out tomorrow. We'll be coming back, No BS World Tour tomorrow with Mr. David Worth, the artist. So everybody, thank you so much. And we will talk to you guys later.